All right, we are here. Jayson Tatum officially torn Achilles, had surgery today as we're recording this, so the day after Game 4 to pair a ruptured Achilles. But it was an Achilles injury that he suffered in Game 4. What everybody feared to happen has happened. Taylor Snow put it out of the Celtics. The Celtics put out a statement. Shams put it out. Everyone had it, right? It was the inevitable news that we were all waiting and hoping wasn't going to happen, but it has. History of Achilles in the NBA. Kevin Durant obviously missed a whole season. We've seen people miss seasons for ACLs. The most likely outcome is that it's going to be out all of next year for Jayson Tatum. We're going to get a year of Jayson Tatumless basketball in Boston, which I think that nobody really expected was going to happen for a long, long time. And
For once.
that's going to be the situation that the Celtics have to deal with now. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is confirmed. We all thought it was coming. It took a really long time for the news to actually surface today. It was kind of strange with just knowing how they can determine that. And they obviously knew for him to have surgery, but they probably wanted to have it go out on their own terms, which is fine. The good news is he is expected to make a full recovery, which I was worried would not be the case. I don't know if you cannot say that with this, but I feel like they could if they didn't feel good about it, right? Like they would be like,
Technically,
they would just leave it out.
Yeah, there's also a part of this. Like he's 27. Achilles aren't what they used to be. Like Kevin Durant recovered from Achilles at like 30, and he's playing some of the best basketball of his career. Just because he's on a bad Suns team doesn't mean he's not a great player still.
Yes.
I was never too worried. Like I saw people say career over. That always seemed a bit dramatic to me. I think it just spurred the moment. Obviously upset, but it doesn't change the fact that the future of the Celtics is not going to be the same now. Like this has completely altered the course of the franchise. We went from, are they going to trade one of, Kristaps or Drew this summer to, do you trade both of them? Do you just get it over with and really get under the luxury tax? And if anything, free yourself up a lot more for when Tatum's comes back? And then the tougher question is, which I stand no on, and we can do videos on it, I'm sure we'll discuss, is do you trade Jalen? And I think the answer is no. I think if anything, this is Jalen's chance to say, yeah, okay, I can be a number one, but then does that open the door for, I want to be a number one? And so it's just, you've opened a lot of doors that weren't going to be opened had something drastic not happened, but something drastic happened. So now it's going to be a summer of what if and what is next.
We're spending the summer going through all the doors into all the rooms. We're exploring all the rooms. That's
a lot of trade videos. Get ready.
Man, I'm happy we have content though. Last year was hell. I don't like the circumstances, but at least it'll, like the silver lining is it will probably make it a little easy for us to get through the months here. Because it sucks that we're losing a month of what we thought would be Celtics basketball. I don't think anybody really felt it would end this early. Who knows?
They could win. They could come back.
I mean, if they win this series, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be so happy. It would be the best thing ever. The Jalen part of this is really interesting, and I don't know where I stand on it. Guess it really depends. Like, I don't think you're going to get anything good for Porzingis, especially right now. I don't really know what the market would be for Drew. It's a contract that even when it was signed, the day the extension happened, people were questioning how valuable that would be, how difficult that would be to get off of. At least Porzingis is going to be expiring next year, if I'm not mistaken. He only has a little bit of time left on his deal, so maybe a team could see themselves as one piece away from being really competitive, and they bring him in, and you can sell them on that hope. But Holiday is a different story. So I think the ultimate goal right now should be is set the Celtics up for the best possible crutches for Tatum as he comes back, if that makes sense. Like, you want him to come back where I don't think you want him to have to take a sidecar to take a backseat to anybody, but if necessary, if there are growing pains, if there's the thing that a lot of injured people will deal with when they go back to normal is just confidence that their body is not going to give out on them again. There's a lot of growing pains that are going to have to happen, and if you have the right pieces to make it easier on them, it would be ideal. So if that consists of Jalen being there, then that's great. I can see both roads. And I don't really think I want him gone. I like Jaylen. I think he's maybe my favorite personality. I just think he's a really good guy, and he cares about the city, he cares about the franchise. I think it might be bad karma trading him away, but I thought there'd be bad karma with Marcus, and they won a championship. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't think karma matters.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I think karma's irrelevant to the conversation.
Well, you fuck around, you get Anthony Davis's dad running around saying your franchise is the devil.
No,
you know.
No. Listen, I think Jaylen has earned the right to prove this. I think Jaylen has shown that he is good enough to be one of the best players in the league. I just think it's going to be hard to put a good enough team around him to be what Celtics basketball can be. And this is not to say, like, I don't want this, like, I truly don't know if Jaylen Brown is good enough to lead a team to a championship. Like, that's not what I'm saying. But I don't think the Celtics have the means to give him the pieces to do that, even if he were capable, because you have
that
$60 million wasted on a guy who is, or not wasted, but like you have Tatum taking up $60 million of your cap, and you're obviously not going to trade Jayson Tatum, but he's hurt. So like there will be, like, next year will not be a fair evaluation to can Jaylen be a championship level leader, because you won't have the means to build a roster around him because of the injury and everything. I think you definitely keep Derek White. I think you definitely keep Jaylen Brown. And now more than ever, I think you keep Peyton Pritchard, as random as it sounds, because if anything, you could see another leap from him next year with even more opportunities, which Noah pointed out on the bus to me last night. Her all-star take has never been more in the framework, I suppose.
Little update.
On top of that, though, go ahead.
With Tatum possibly missing next season, Greeny immediately went to the cap guru, Keith Smith, on Twitter. Asked him if there's an injury exemption that the Celtics can apply for with Tatum's salary, and Keith said if he's found to be more likely than not to miss the entirety of next season, Boston could get a disabled player exception for the equivalent of the non-taxpayer MLE, which is about $14.1 million for next season. No additional roster spot, and that DPE can be used to sign or acquire someone whose salary fits in there.
Now, everyone's going to turn and look at free agents. You just basically got free pay Luke Cornett money, in my opinion, if that is the case.
Oh, it's true.
Like, it is, you can bring back Al Horford. Let's say you want to give Luke $10 million a year. I don't know if you can split it up. That would be a Keith Smith question, and I'm actually going to reply to his tweet right now. If it is allowed, you could sign Al for like $4 million. You could sign Luke for like $10 million, and like you get that part of your issue is gone. Like, you can bring back your depth and figure everything out from there, and see what you get back for Kristaps, see what you get back for Drew. I can't imagine it'd be a lot for either of them, but maybe Brad Stevens works some magic. And I think the biggest thing is, like, we spent all this time, we've had so many hypothetical fake discussions of this team's so good, what would they be like without Tatum? Well, now we're gonna find out. Now we're gonna find out what the team is gonna be like without Tatum. And
they win 3 straight games against the Knicks and win a championship.
Right. But no, listen, like, next year you're gonna put out a lineup probably of Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Horford and Cornett maybe, or Hauser and Horford, and then the bench of Shireman, who's going to have a lot more to do next year, and whatever else you get in the draft. And I still think that's a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. I still think Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard is enough to be a playoff team in the Eastern Conference. Obviously losing Drew and Kristaps because, which is, I'm just assuming maybe you keep one of them, maybe you keep Drew, maybe like whatever. We'll have to see. And if you really want the most positive, crappy of all spins, at least it's a little bit more unknown now. At least you don't know what's gonna fucking happen anymore.
It's literally it's only good for us. Like, we're the only people that benefit. It's not as fun.
Clear, it's not good. It's not even fun or not fun. It is not good, because what an awful what an awful just thing. Like, what an awful situation for even past the scope of the Celtics. Like, you got to feel for Tatum, like the pinnacle of health, the pinnacle of I'm going to play every game, and now he is literally in a spot where he's going to have to miss an entire season of basketball. Like, I wouldn't.
Dude was balling out. He like, it just 180-degree flip of all of a sudden he is not even able to play. and he was on fire a minute before that.
It's tough, man. Like I said, we'll have plenty of conversations with this throughout the course of the summer. This is far from the last time we'll be talking about this lineup topic. But Tatum torn his Achilles, surgery successful, and we'll see what happens from there. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and see you next time. I'll let Sam take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. Other videos are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us streaming pregame live for a half hour before each tip-off. Maybe today's the last one. Maybe it's not, but we'll be here. That's a guarantee. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too. All pods and recaps are up there. So if you just want those, go ahead and follow. They will go right to your feed. Leave a 5-star review. We'd appreciate that very, very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. I'm sure everyone's doing very well right now and has nothing to say. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook is just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter's Jack's1NBA. Mine's at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
You could stand at half court and ref better than these guys. Looks smart down and is called for another foul. And tic-tac-toe.